So apparently there's this video going around of the Nottoway Plantation on fire. And it's got TikTok and other social media platforms in shambles. But what they don't mention about the Nottoway Plantation is so obvious. Look at the name Nottoway. Nottoway Plantation is named after the Nottoway tribe. And one of the older owners is part of the Randolph family. I believe his name was John Randolph. And they migrated from Virginia. So a bulk of these so-called black slaves that they had on the Nottoway Plantation are actually former members of the Nottoway tribe. So descendants of the Nottoway tribe were enslaved, and they were taken with the Randolph family to Louisiana, to this plantation called Nottoway Plantation, ironically named after their tribe and the land that was originally stolen from their tribe to make the original Randolph plantations in Virginia. So I see all these people making these videos. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, oh, the descendants of the enslaved Africans are burning down the plantation. Where's your proof that these people were enslaved Africans? But we have proof that that land that the Randolph family took in Virginia was on Nottoway land, right? And they enslaved Nottoway indigenous people on their own land, which there's proof. I showed y'all for years. There's proof all through Virginia, and I'm pretty sure through other southern states and northern states that these plantations are built on indigenous towns, okay? Most of them are built in indigenous towns. So you can follow that paper trail and see that a lot of these slaves, which they tell us that the majority, 80%, over 80% of the slaves were domestic, quote unquote, which means they were from America, right? They try to make it seem like, oh, it was Africans born in America. Some of them might be, or they might be mixed with Africans born in America, but a lot of them were indigenous, and they never speak about the indigenous slaves. And they try to make our grandparents and people who said they were Indian look crazy because they said they have enslaved ancestry as well, but they never talk about what they call the other slavery. They never talk about indigenous slavery. So a lot of the people are right. A lot of them are right, and there's documented proof that the location of these plantations are old Indian towns. They call them Indian town on the maps, or Old Town. Okay, so y'all can look all this stuff up, but Nottoway Plantation is named after the Nottoway Indians, and this is something big that people are skipping over, especially these Afrocentric and these Eurocentric scholars, quote unquote. So y'all go look into that for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Look into the name Nottoway. Look into the not the culture, but the story of the Randolph family and other families like the Epps, and it's a whole bunch of families that migrated from Virginia, but their original land was on top of these old villages or these old towns. Okay, where they took over the whole town and they enslaved the majority of the people who couldn't flee, or the people who wasn't traded away, or the people who didn't convert to Christianity and be part of the society, which a lot of our free people of color ancestors did. They became Christians. We got a lot of reverends. I know I have reverends in my family. They became Christians to protect themselves so they can still have a lot of that culture underground. So y'all please look into that.